Good morning, and welcome to your Friday Faith Fill-Up. Well, we've just celebrated Thanksgiving, and want to kind of stick with that same thing. In the book of Psalm 23 is obviously a very familiar psalm, but the last couple of verses, the Bible says this: Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And this talks about the blessings and the good things that the good shepherd does for us. But then in verse number 6, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That thought of goodness and mercy in our lives has just been something that's kind of overwhelmed me lately, realizing how good God is, and the fact that God is just always good. He's continuing to pour that goodness and mercy on our lives. And I was thinking about the goodness of God. When God created everything, He created several times. We find things and says that it was good. He saw that it was good. The phrase is repeated 6 times just in the first chapter of Genesis. That what He created, He saw it, and it was good. All of what God created was good. And then at the end of chapter 1, He sees it all, and He declares that it is very good. That ought to help us to understand that when God creates, when God makes something, that it is good. It doesn't matter what our view of it is, what our thinking or our perception is, that God creates it, then it's something that's good. All He does is good. And even when you consider in the New Testament, another familiar text, Romans 8:28, tells us that we know all things work together for good to them that love God, and them who are called according to the purpose. You think about the good that we have in our life, that all things are taking us to the place of good. And then back in Psalm, it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. The idea of following there is to run after. Growing up, we had a dog, Saint Bernard, that pretty much was everywhere that I was. I don't know if it was my protector or if I was its protector. I really don't know. But that dog was everywhere. It didn't matter where I went. I would turn around, and that dog would be. I look at the goodness and mercy of God, and I see that same thing. That word follow there again, it has to do with to pursue or to run after. That everywhere we go, God's goodness is there. Sometimes we look at our circumstances, our situation, we say, well, that doesn't seem like good. Well, no, God's goodness and mercy is following us. It's there. We just need to recognize it sometimes as good. As I mentioned earlier, sometimes it is about perception. It's about how we view that. It's there. Everywhere we go, His goodness, His mercy are going to be there with us. I think of Joseph as probably the best example of this. He tells his brothers toward the end of the book, and he really says this twice. He makes a statement, paraphrasing, of course, that what you did, you had evil intentions, you meant it evil, but God meant it for good. What God does is good. Sometimes I think it's just that our perception says that it's something that's not good. We need to remember that His goodness, His mercy are following us. They're running after us all the time. Let's just stop and enjoy that and thank God for His goodness to us. Be able to recognize the things in our life as God's goodness. What a blessing it is to know that we serve not only a good God, but a God that is a good God, that all He does is good. Well, I hope that's a blessing to you. We'll see you on Sunday morning.